Hello, bookkeepers, and welcome back to my channel today. And I'm so happy that you are here. Today, we're going to continue on with our pricing and our money mindset. So this is really important in growing your bookkeeping business. If you believe that charging $1,000 a month means you won't have any clients, this video might be a little bit challenging to you. We're going to explore a few different reasons why you do want to price your bookkeeping $800, $1,000, no matter what you're charging right now. We can always move this level up as we move up the levels on this Mount Everest here. I really like that definition. We want to climb Mount Everest. We want our bookkeeping business to be a successful business, and we're starting from down here. So we've got to make our way all the way up to the top to give our premium service, our premium value, all of the work that we do put into our business so we can be rewarded for that and also reward our customers. So I think that's incredibly important. We're going to get to it. So our first little lesson we're going to learn here is cheap clients don't reduce risk. They actually increase the risk in your bookkeeping business. And I have had to learn this the hard way over the years, for the past 2 decades of working with contractors, working with retail businesses, working with service-based businesses. Everybody is out there trying to get the best price on anything, which is a normal thing to do. But we just have to put our money into perspective and our services and our value. But let's say that you charge $400 per month, you're making $4,000 per month, then that means that you have to service 10 clients consistently per month, have 10 clients in your system. And I have done that for years, and 10 clients, I believe, is very doable for any bookkeeper, whether you're a beginning bookkeeper or you have tons of experience or years of experience in your bookkeeping business or working for someone else doing accounting for a company. But when we say 10 sets of clients, this is, you're getting 10 different emails, you're getting 20 or 30 different bank accounts, not just an additional 10, because each client has anywhere from 1 to 5 different bank accounts and credit cards. So that puts a lot of pressure on us. We've got vendor questions, we've got LLC questions, we've got tax questions, we've got emergencies that just come up, we've got login issues. I just had that this morning because one of my clients, he never logs into QuickBooks. So he somehow, through Apple, he lost like all of his codes and everything. So he was in an emergency mode this morning. This takes up a lot of our emotional energy. And as a bookkeeper, we have to sustain our emotional energy and our calmness. Our clients expect us to be calm with working with them and dealing with the numbers and just hitting difficult situations. Last week, I mentioned to you, accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, this type of thing is a very high stress type business out there, but it's our business to make it calm and make it peaceful. And that's what we want to do. And that's why we're always putting in systems that work for us to get our work done, give value to our roofing contractors or any contractor that you work with, show them what their numbers are to help them earn more profit and grow in their business. But then let's compare that if we had 4 clients and we're charging $1,000, even if you compare this, you're charging $800, you'll see a big competitive edge there for you and a lot more profit coming into your bookkeeping business. So you can do your marketing, so you can improve your own education. You can have more time with your family. You might be running a bookkeeping business and you have a child that's at home with you. They could be a disabled child or someone you're schooling from home, whatever your case is, or you're retired. I have a client that she's retired, so this is her second income now that she's starting her bookkeeping business. And she already has 2 or 3 clients, so she's doing like really well in the business. But if we only have 4 clients at $1,000, which is super, super easy to manage because you're only doing like 1 to 2 clients per day. So if you only had 4 clients, at the most, you would be working only 3 or 4 days a week, working 3 to 4 hours each day. So I spend the morning time doing marketing, and then I do accounting in the afternoon. Unless something super important or difficult is going on with a client, they need some type of reports or have got to reconcile or something like that, I might be doing it in the morning time when my brain is the freshest. But that's what we look at there. But you have the same revenue. It's the same $4,000. You have less volume. You have less questions. You have less bank accounts. You have less cleanup issues. And it takes less emotional energy as well. You have less chaos in your business. But cheap pricing does not reduce stress. It actually increases the stress on us because it increases moving parts. And the more moving parts we have in a client's business, the more time it's going to take us to do it, and the more workarounds that you're having to do for that particular client, depending on in the roofing industry, if you're using QuickBooks for job costing, or if you're using a different CRM, AccuLinks, Job Nimbus, RoofLink, or any of those guys, okay? And most roofers are going to be using one of those, so you're having that to deal with. And moving parts just creates more mistakes. You're doing more things, so of course you're going to have more mistakes. We try not to have mistakes by using a system and going by that system, but we're just human. So occasionally we do make a mistake. And just always remember, don't be afraid in bookkeeping to touch a keyboard or to make a mistake. Most everything can be corrected. So I don't know of anything that can't be corrected. You might need to get some help in correcting it, but it can be corrected. Then the next thing is cheap clients question more. That is uncomfortable, but true. Clients that are only paying you $200 to $500 a month, they are like watching their money like really tight. They don't have a lot of money for overhead like accounting and bookkeeping. They're really, what am I getting for this bottom line dollar? Clients who pay less, they scrutinize more, and they push back on you more, and they will even ask for cheaper prices, and they delay payments a lot. So be sure, if you do have a client, any client, you have their paperwork filled out and they've signed off on that. So the first of every month, you can go ahead and charge their accounts. You can do it automatically in QuickBooks, where QuickBooks will do it. I prefer to make sure that I look at their invoices and then I'll process it myself and just click ACH, and the bank account number automatically comes up to show me this is the bank account. I know that's their bank account, and then I have the money the next day. So that is really sweet there, especially when you have a $2,000 client, that the money is right there the next day for you. They expect faster responses, and they negotiate harder on the price, and they will keep penny pinching you down to where you're not making any money. It becomes where it's costing you money with all the emails and pushbacks and chaos, and they don't keep up with their documents as good. Maybe it's somebody that is paying you $1,000 a month. So these are things that we look at. Because when price is low, perceived value and authority is low also. And that is not the picture that we want to put out there, that our value is great value And I'm going to work really hard for you, doing a good job for you so you know your numbers so you can grow your business. That's how I always build bookkeeping businesses. But when prices rises, authority rises as well. And authority reduces friction, any constraint in your business. You don't just raise prices, but you raise your positioning and you raise the ways that you can really help them. If someone's not paying you a lot to do the bookkeeping, you get in there and you do the minimum stuff that you have to do. But if you're getting paid $1,000 a month, you can put more into it because you have a bigger profit there. You have more time. You're only working with 4 clients versus you're working with 10 clients. And so that is a big impact there. And I do have, and I'll put in the link, the Bookkeepers Earning Calculator. It's on my website. It's totally free. And then you can go in there and put, you want 10 customers at $800, and it'll tell you how much your monthly sales would be, how much your quarterly, your annually. And then that gives you an idea too of how much you can pay yourself per year for your salary. So that's a very good edge for you there. And then also underpricing, it makes you doubt yourself. You lose confidence with that because you look at the number, oh, they're just paying me $200 a month. I must not be very good. And that is far from the truth. It's just we have to get up confidence in ourselves. We have to have boldness in ourselves to quote a price. And if they say, great, let's get started, then we get started. If not, then it's just not a fit for us because not everybody is going to be a fit for you. Different companies are in different positions. They have different revenue. They have different overhead. They have a different budget for sales, for accounting, for marketing, for all of these things. So just keep those in mind. But from bookkeeping or an accounting perspective, even when you're paying they're paying $1,000 to pay you to do the bookkeeping, it's a very low percentage, like less than 1%, most likely of their revenue. So what you're charging is a very low price of what they're paying for many things. If you charge 300 to 500, long enough, something happens internally in us. You begin to believe this must be what I'm worth. And we know that is not true. Even if you're solving payroll confusion, you're doing cleanup, you're adding bank accounts, they've got hundreds of transactions, you're doing tax prep work, all of these things. You're working with their cash flow, making sure they're keeping money in their bank account every time you're logging in there, looking for any red flags to help them where they're not double charged for something. And that itself is worth what they pay you a whole month. Don't underprice yourself and underprice your value, most importantly. The market doesn't decide your worth. You are the one that decides your worth. And just because maybe it's an easy account for you, to other people, that's not. And for them to do, it's not an easy account for them because they don't know how to do it. They don't have the expertise that you do. So never figure how much you're going to charge by an hourly rate. It's so much per month to do going through the bank feed, reconciling, getting you your reports, logging into the CRM, looking at your accounts receivable, accounts payable, adding in any loans, any extra income you have coming into the business. That's how I've been pricing everything for quite a long time. But if you don't decide intentionally what you're going to price, once you get on the phone with someone, you're going to have your emotions that come in, and you're going to have to be like really strong and already have in your mind basically, or have a price sheet. If you have 1 to 3 jobs per month, it's $600. If you have 4 to 6, it's $800, and so on. However, whatever your prices are. And I've given you some price scenarios in some of the videos, I think here on YouTube. But then you can always go and join our Keepers Connection. And then there's more training over there. And I'm posting over there 3 or 4 times a week. And you can ask any questions that you have. And I'm always glad to answer those questions for you. Then cheap clients lock you into survival. And believe you me, I have been on this trip before. It's just like we get so busy doing all the delivery, all the accounting, doing all of these things, answering the emails, dealing with all the emergencies. We're just like a little hamster going round and round. And then we have no time for marketing. We have no time to meet with anybody to see, what they might need in their business that you could help them with bookkeeping with. So we put ourselves in a corner. And so that is one big mistake that I actually made years ago in my business, of just keep running on this treadmill here. We're just going round and round like a hamster. And then finally I just said, stop, I'm not doing this anymore. Even if I only have 5 clients, that's all I'm going to do. And it's going to give me more time. And I just raised my price and I'm doing the same work that I was doing before, except I have more time and less chaos that I am even having to deal with. Because honestly, we do want to have a calm, a peaceful bookkeeping business that we can enjoy serving clients, that we can enjoy doing, that supports ourselves, our family, our children, give us more time to go and do the things that we enjoy doing, whatever those things are, going to the beach, the river, with the summertime coming. So you want some extra time there. And then our last one is, if I charge $1,000, I won't have any clients. So let's confront this. If no one would ever pay $1,000 per month, roofing companies would not exist. Any kind of contractors would not exist, I can assure you. Consultants wouldn't exist, attorneys, what they pay salesmen, what they pay their sales mentors itself, their coaches, their sales coaching. And so we need to educate them that they also need a bookkeeping mentor for their bookkeepers too. So that is always a good thing to have there. But fractional CFO would not exist. The belief is not, no one will pay. The belief is, I'm not sure if I deserve to charge it. So just think about that for a minute. You can compare, yourself if you want to. If you had went to college and you have paid, and some of you may have, you paid all this money to take accounting in college. So you have all of this money and you have all of this time invested into it. But you need to let your identity shift, how much experience you have, how much value you're going to give the client, and what relief it's going to take out of their business. That they're not going to be worrying about what their numbers are. They're going to ask you and they're going to know what their numbers are. So you're taking that away from them so they don't have to deal with that. They can work on their sales, work on getting their crews out there to do the jobs, getting paid on the jobs, and keeping the cash flow going. And there's a lot of other problems they deal with out on the job. So having that part taken care of is a gift itself. So we want to look at it that way. But if you're serious about building a business that doesn't exhaust you, go calculate what your earnings, what you want it to be per year. Then look at how many clients you need at $400, how many clients you need at $1,000, or somewhere in between there, between $600 and $800. Anytime you get below the 500 mark there, then you go into very thin margins at that point. Just know that. And sometimes it can work for you. Say that you're charging 500 and once a week you go in there and it takes you 15 minutes to do it. In those situations, you have a little bit more cushion for profit there. but most of those accounts, that is not the case. Okay. But if you do want to build your bookkeeping business the right way, please join us over on Bookkeepers Connection. It is on the school platform. I love the school platform, and meet the bookkeepers we have in there, meet the roofers that we do have in there. We have both roofers and bookkeepers that join over there. And so we have a thriving community going. But anyway, I'll have that link in the description. But until next week, I will see you in my next video. And I put videos out every Friday. And if you have any comments or you have any questions, please do leave that in the comment section here with YouTube, and I will answer those questions. And if it's something that would benefit everyone watching my channel, then I will make a video to actually answer that question for you. Thank you, and I will see you next week on Friday. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.